Hey, let me get the door. Hey, come on in. You're just in time. We're working on a problem here from Unit 2, Algebra 2, Systems of Equations, Practice 002. That's 002. I'm Mr. Monty. Let me help you get caught up. First thing we wanted to do on this Systems of Equations is find the feasible region. Well, in order to find the feasible region, first thing we wanted to do is make sure that we knew what equations went to which lines. So in pink, we highlighted y greater than or equal to 75. We got that highlighted. The red equation, 25x plus y less than or equal to 250. We highlighted this line. The reason we knew there, because our y-intercept was at 250. Then the blue line, which was the y-intercept of 60, we highlighted that. Now, for our feasible region, we can see everything that's shaded here. Greater than or equal, less than or equal to, and less than or equal to. So let's shade in what we call the feasible region. The next thing we did was we wanted to find the intersection points that create the feasible region. Point A, point B, and point C. Well, the only thing you've missed out on was step 1, finding the intersection points for point A. Well, that's the pink line, y is greater than or equal to 75, and the blue line, y is less than or equal to 115 over 3x plus 60. We set y equal to y, 115 over 3x plus 60 equals 75. Subtract 60 from both sides. We get 115x over 3 is equal to 15. We got to isolate the x. So we multiplied both sides of the equation by 3 over 115 to get x is equal to 45 over 115. And that reduces down to 9 over 23. Once we have that, we can use our x to find our y. Well, that was really easy with this one because one of our constraints said y greater than or equal to 75, so the only y value we can have is 75. So we got our coordinate point 9 over 23, comma 75. So that's our point A. So join us when we find point B. That'll be step 2. The first thing, we just got started writing y is less than or equal to 250 minus 25x. The other constraint was the blue line, y less than or equal to 115 over 3, x plus 60. We know that y equals y, so we'll set them equal to each other. 250 minus 25x equals 115x divided by 3 plus 60. Well, let's start to get all the numbers on one side and the letters on the other. We'll subtract 250 from both sides. We get negative 25x equals 115x over 3 minus 190. I really don't like these fractions. So let's multiply everything by 3, both sides of the equation. That way we can get rid of this ugly fraction. We'll have negative 75x equals 115x minus 190. Okay? Subtract 115x from both sides. And we'll get negative 190x equals, made a mistake there, didn't I? Good catch. 3 has to distribute to both of them. So that would be negative 570. So negative 190x equals negative 570. Isolate the x, undo the multiplication by dividing both sides by 190. X is going to equal a positive 3. Alright, now that we found our x, we can plug it back into either of the equations to find out a y. y equals 250 minus 25 times that 3. Y is going to equal 250 minus 75, or 175. Now that we have the x and the y, we can write it as a coordinate point, 3, 175. So we found our point B. And then step 3. Let's find point C. Point C being the intersection of the red line and the pink line. Red line again being y less than or equal to 250 minus 25x. And the pink line, y greater than or equal to 75. Again, y is equal to y, so we'll have 250 minus 25x equals 75. Subtract 250 from both sides, and we'll have negative 25x equals negative 175. Undo the multiplication. We divide both sides by negative 25. X will be equal to 7. Again, once you find the x, you can plug it back in to calculate the y. But in this case, we can see it's easy because the only y value we can have is 75. Y equals 75. Write our actual coordinate point as 7, 75. And now we're ready to head on to the final part of this problem, where in the C section it says evaluate the objective function f of x, y, which are each of these points, A, B, and C, equal to 135x minus 60y. And we'll actually find an actual value for each one of those. So here we go. C. Practice 002 continued. F of x, y equals 135x minus 60y for point A, 9 over 23, 75. Point B, 3, 175. And point C, 7, 75. Now, we do what we call plug and chug. Equals 135 times the value of 9 over 23 minus 60 over 75. We're going to get a number. Let's use the calculator and calculate this out. We have 52.8 minus 4,500 gives us a negative value of 4447.20. Point B, we'll evaluate, again, 135 times the x value, which was 3, minus 60 times the y value of 175. Again, using the calculator, we'll get 405 minus 10,500, yielding 10,095.0, negative 10,095. And point C, 135 times the x value of 7, minus 60 times the y value of 75. Using our calculator, we'll get 945 minus 4,500, yielding negative 3555.0. If we're trying to maximize, this would be our biggest number. If we're trying to minimize this function, this would be our smallest number. So, good job working through all these steps. If you had any other issues, make sure you stop by the 7th Hour Math Lab at Lewis and Clark. I'm Mr. Monty, and these are some of the skills that you'll need to be successful so that you're ready for the unit assessment on systems of equations. See you tomorrow.